Carlsbad Cave Girls are the repeat state. The 2023 Robertson Cardinals state champions.
Welcome to the 2024 Nusenda Credit Union State Baseball and Softball Seeding and Selection Show. If you're looking for postseason matchups, you've come to the right place. We will release the baseball brackets for all classes and softball brackets for Class 4A and 5A. Can you believe it? We've reached the postseason. I know the Santa Rosa Lions got together for a barbecue today and they're watching. Hey, where's my invite? I like a game of cornhole. Melrose is having a cookout at the field house. I hope you're enjoying the show. Silver Softball is waiting to see where they are seated. And shout out to the St. Pius Sartans. I know they're watching. Welcome to all in attendance. But before we get to checking out who your team will play, we always like to remind everyone how the seeding and selection process works. The seeding process is not the NMAA sitting in a room randomly deciding who should be the 1 seed, the 2 seed, etc., etc. It is not that. What it is a process that is all data driven. The following criteria is used to determine a team's seed. We look at finish in regular season district play, max preps rankings, overall record, wins against district champs regardless of class, member school input, that's the coach's input and their rankings, and any head-to-head matchups. These schools are compared to one another with each of these criteria points, and the seeding is determined like one big math problem. It's all based on the numbers and data. In the event of a tie among those criteria points, head-to-head will be used to break the tie. If there's no head-to-head competition or the head-to-head competition is tied, then max prep's strength of schedule will be used to break the tie. There is no input given by NMAA staff. Let me repeat that so everyone hears it. No input by NMAA staff. It's all data driven based on those criteria points. Did you beat a district champ? Did you have a better record? Were you ranked higher? All of those things are taken into consideration. There is no bias for or against any school or team. Now that you understand how it's done, let's get to it. You clicked on this show to see the brackets, right? Well, we will start with softball, and the first classification of the show is Class 4A. The number 1 seed, the team with the top honor this postseason, is the Gallup Lady Bengals. Gallup played in each of the last 3 title games. The Lady Bengals have won 19 of their last 20 games. 5A Alamogordo is the only New Mexico school to beat them. They are loaded with experience with 10 seniors on the roster.
These seniors, they know what to do. They know some of these seniors, they were part of the 2022 state championship. So it helps a lot, especially experience in the state championship games, and it really helps the coaching staff, especially me.
How about that first bracket of the day? Here it is. Gallup will face Portales, the 16 seed. Berlin is the 8 and Valley the 9. Artesia earned a 5 and will take on Bloomfield, the 12. St. Pius is the 4 seed and gets 13 seed Deming. Defending state champ Silver is the 3 and will go up against Miamura, the 14. Bernalillo is your 6 and Goddard the 11. Aztec is 7 and Los Alamos the 10. Lovington earned the 2 seed and will face Albuquerque Academy, the 15. Now, a little explanation here in criteria points. There was a 3-way tie in the seeding process between Silver, St. Pius, and Artesia. Silver won that 3-way tie, and then St. Pius had the criteria point advantage over Artesia. Miamura and Bloomfield were tied in district and split their head-to-head matchups. Based on the criteria points, Bloomfield had the advantage over Miamura, so the Bobcats were in before Miamura. And Miamura will now face Silver in the opening round.
I think it's a 4-way race. Gallup's tough, Artesia's there, and now Lovington's there as well. And so I kind of see it, us 4 up at the top there. And I feel like whoever shows up and plays the best tournament is going to win it. And that's usually the case. The numbers and the rankings at the end of the day are just that, a number. And we constantly preach to the kids that if you're going to win it all, then you have to beat them all. And so it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you end.
Let's go to Class 5A. The number 1 seed in the state's top classification is Alamogordo High School. Alamogordo has wins on the resume over Artesia, Silver, Gallup, La Cueva, Cibola, and Centennial. And they only have one senior, Sidney Lesentine, a dominant pitcher who committed to Texas A&M. Alamogordo likes having that #1 seed heading into the postseason.
We want to keep that edge to ourselves.
We want to stay on the top.
Want to stay in the top bracket. Yeah.
We want to stay there.
Let some others knock each other out.
Do it. We've been doing it for so long. So it's our turn to get up there and stay on the top bracket for a change. We deserve it. We work hard at it. So girls deserve it.
Let's look at the bracket. Alamogordo will face Cleveland, the 16 seed, in the opening round. Piedra Vista is the 8 and Albuquerque High the 9. Cibola is your 5 seed and will take on 12 seed Farmington. Hobbs is the 4 and Oregon Mountain the 13. Centennial is the 3 and Sandia 14. Defending state champ Carlsbad comes into this year's bracket as the 6 seed, and they get 11 seed Los Lunas. Mayfield is the 7 and Rio Rancho the 10. La Cueva is your #2 seed and will take on Volcano Vista the 15. The Class A, 2A, and 3A softball brackets will be released next Sunday at approximately 12 p.m. on our website. Now to baseball. Let's start in Class 1A. The first baseball top seed of the show is handed out to the Logan Longhorns. Logan has played in the title game each of the last 3 seasons, winning 2 of the last 3 state titles. They were last year's state runner-up. Logan gets a first-round bye. And here is your bracket. Logan will take on the winner of the 4-5 matchup between Mesilla Valley Christian and Grady. Gateway Christian is the 2 seed and also receives a first-round bye. Melrose is the 3 and Magdalena the 6. Melrose won it all last year. They return all 9 starters from that squad, 5 seniors, including Michael Cardenita and Dathan Yuri, who do a lot of the heavy lifting.
These guys want it more than any of the expectations that are on them. Last year, we were more of the underdog story. Logan had beat us 3 times, run-rolled us 3 times going into the state game last year. So last year, a little bit of an underdog type mentality. But we've talked this year that's we got the bullseye on our back. So we understand that we're going to get everybody's best every time we play. So I don't think there's as much pressure to repeat as just pressure and wanting to do good and just compete as the best they can.
Let's talk 2A baseball. The #1 seed this year goes to a team with quite the roar, the Santa Rosa Lions. Congratulations to Santa Rosa. The Lions haven't won it all since 1981. Head coach James Sanchez says this group is resilient, but being #1 is just a number. Everyone is out to get you.
Everyone's out to win it. You know, everyone's doing the same thing. They're working hard. They're trying to make sure that we're prepared, or they're prepared the best that they can be for the big weekend. And you know, any given time, anybody can be beaten. You know, so the biggest thing is just, again, like I say, staying locked in, staying motivated, keeping the eye on the prize, you know, and stuff. And so it just making sure that we're as prepared as possible. So I mean, to me, it's just a number.
Here are your top 4 seeds. They all receive a first-round bye. Loving earned the 2. Defending state champ Tularosa is the 3. And Manal Oak Grove is the 4. Let's look at the bracket. Texaco is the 8, and they will host Pecos the 9. McCurdy is the 5, and will take on Mescalero Apache the 12. The winner will take on Manal Oak Grove. Tularosa waits the winner of the 6-11 matchup between Eunice and Capitan. Rehoboth Christian is the 7 and will take on Laguna Acoma the 10. The winner will advance to face Loving. We have now reached Class 3A in baseball. The #1 seed goes to none other than Cobre High School. Congratulations and shout out to Cobre. They are watching the show together. Cobre is heavy with seniors and a strong pitching staff. They've put up double-digit runs in 9 of their last 10 games. They've been aiming for that #1 seed all year.
Our goal all year was to be the #1 seed. That's what our goal was. We wanted to be up there. We wanted to be at the top. We wanted to have a good seeding in the tournament. And we feel like we could be effective. You know, we feel like that's where we need to be. That's where we should be. And that was our goal this year.
12 teams get in, which means the top 4 seeds all receive a first-round bye, and here they are. East Mountain is the 2 seed, St. Michael's your 3 seed, and New Mexico Military Institute the 4. Congratulations to all 4 teams for earning a first-round bye. New Mexico Military Institute last lifted the Blue Trophy in 2022. The Colts have a young bunch with only 3 seniors. They are looking for a little redemption after last year's early exit.
Last year, losing that first round, it's still kind of come back and haunts us to this day. So, we've, been talking about this big picture, since the off season and the beginning of the year. And, that's kind of our goal. Obviously, ultimate goal is to win it all. But, I think everyone's bought in and, especially the guys that were on the team last year don't want to go through that again. So, we're just trying to play the best we can and, go from there.
Now let's look at that 3A bracket. West Las Vegas is the 8 seed, and they will face Navajo Prep, the 9. Shout out to the Dons, who I know are watching. Santa Fe Indian School is the 5 and will host Zuni, the 12. Ruidoso is the 6, and defending state champ Sandia Prep, the 11. The winner of that game will face St. Michael's. Robertson is the 7, and Hatch Valley, the 10. The winner will advance to take on East Mountain. Moving on to Class 4A. One team shot to the top like a rocket, the Goddard Rockets. Goddard earned the top spot. They won it all in 2017. They have a veteran group with 11 seniors on the roster. The Rockets like being the hunted rather than the hunter. They embrace the high seed.
It does put a target on your back. And ever since I've been here at Goddard, we've kind of had a target on our back because of the success of the program, especially under Edmondson. And it's one of those things that I think the boys have gotten used to it and actually take pride in it, that people like to use you as their measuring stick. We've had some teams that we've talked to that we've had close games to talk about how if they could have just beaten us, it would have made their season. And that's kind of flattering. And so the boys enjoy that some. And we also know that with pressure comes expectations, or expectations comes pressure. But I think these boys had expectations on themselves. And so I've talked to other coaches in my own school that said, hey, at the start of the year, they were like, are your boys worried about all the pressure and expectations that the entire school and community has on them? And I said, no, because it's the same expectations that they have for themselves. If you want to jump on for the ride, then hop on the train. Let's see how far she can go.
Let's look at that bracket. Goddard will host Kirtland Central in the opening round. Bloomfield is the 8 and the Valley Vikings your 9. Artesia is the 5 and Santa Teresa the 12. Two-time defending state champ St. Pius enters the tournament as the 4 seed and will host Chaparral. The Sartans have played in every title game since 2019. Belen earned the 3 seed and will host 14 seed Aztec. Albuquerque Academy is the 6 seed and will take on Los Alamos, the 11. Hope Christian is your 7 and will square up against 10 seed Bernalillo. And the Grants Pirates earned the number 2 spot. They will face 15 seed Portales. Last but not least, Class 5A, and the number 1 seed goes to the team that's been number 1 most of the year, the La Cueva Bears. La Cueva last won it all in 2021. As we enter another postseason, La Cueva is right there on top of the seeding once again.
Obviously it's nice, a little bit of a feather in your cap, but at the end of the day, you got to go out there and play who's in the other dugout. And that day, hopefully you have a little bit more success and can score one more run than they do. But, I think it's just a testament to the body of work for one. We've won it when we haven't been a 1 seed, and we've won it when we've been a 1 seed. So, and we've lost when we've been a 1 seed. So I think it's one of those things where you kind of just go out there and got to play the game. And once you get to that stage of the season, seedings and rankings can go out the window, because that group in the other dugout has a lot of belief that they can beat you on that day too.
Let's take a look at that final bracket. We'll explain some of this seeding in just a moment. La Cueva will meet up with Mayfield, the 16 seed. Rio Grande is the 8 and El Dorado the 9. They face off. Sandia is your 5 and will host Las Cruces the 12. Oregon Mountain is the 4 and will host Hobbs the 13. Cleveland is your 3 seed and Piedra Vista the 14. Volcano Vista is the 6 and will take on Los Lunas the 11. Now Carlsbad is the 7 and Centennial the 10. Clovis is your 15 going up against the 2 seed, defending state champ Rio Rancho. Now, the explanation. Cleveland and Rio Rancho were tied in district, but Rio Rancho beat the Storm in those 6 criteria points and head-to-head matchups. When seeding this bracket, there was a 4-way tie between Sandia, Rio Grande, Carlsbad, and Volcano Vista. Sandia won that 4-way tie, so they are in the 5 seed. Volcano Vista beat both Rio Grande and Carlsbad, so they're the 6. The last 2 slots came down to Clovis, Roswell, and Mayfield. Clovis and Roswell were tied in district, and Roswell beat Clovis 3 out of 4, but Clovis won those 6 criteria points, so they are in. Roswell did not have a criteria point advantage over Mayfield, so Mayfield is in as your 16 seed. That is your 5A bracket. You can purchase tickets for the postseason at gofan.co/NMAA, so make sure you go online, digital ticketing only, no cash sales, and get your tickets. Don't forget, if you can't be there in person, you can watch the state championship games on the NFHS network. So get a subscription and log on so you can watch the championship matchups. That's going to do it for the 2024 Nusenda Credit Union State Baseball and Softball Seeding and Selection Show. Good luck to all the teams involved, and remember to compete with class.